Hey, what's up guys? Today we are talking about reading comprehension. It's one of the most common things my pediatric patients struggle with, so I really hope you like it.
I believe that if I fly, probably end up somewhere in paradise. I believe that.
I'd say about 99% of my pediatric population that struggles with reading comprehension has what's called an ATNR. And what that stands for is an Asymmetric Tonic Neck Reflex. It's a primitive reflex that everyone's born with, and it's initially there when we're born to give feedback to the brain because our brain's so underdeveloped at birth. But by about 6 months of age, we want to get rid of it so our brain can start doing more complex things. But with these kids, they never actually fully get rid of it. So that's what we have to go and look for. There are so many different kinds of primitive reflexes, but this one specifically alters the way that they cross the midline. So what I mean by that is kids will read from left to right across a page, but every time they cross what's called the midline right here, their eyes will skip. It'll either go up a line or down a line, or maybe go left or right, and their eyes kind of dart away and they can't smoothly cross the midline. Instead, they cross it and then it kind of skip somewhere. You can imagine trying to comprehend what you're reading when your eyes are doing that every time you cross the midline. It's going to make reading very difficult, and these kids are very frustrated with reading and they never like to read because it's so hard for them and their eyes can't track as smoothly as they should. Another common thing that this can affect is balance. So when you move your head, this ATNR will actually, let me back up for you, when you turn your head to the right, it'll actually extend out your right limbs and it'll flex in your left limbs. So they have a lot of trouble, especially with like riding a bike or balancing coordination, because if you imagine you're holding onto the handlebars, anytime that their head turns, this arm's going to want to go this way and this arm's going to want to go this way. And it's really hard to hold your coordination on a bike because this ATNR is affecting with it. It also will affect handwriting. A lot of kids with an ATNR have really bad handwriting because if you're writing with your right hand and you're looking to the right, everything's going to want to extend on that side and you're not going to be able to keep that firm grip on a pencil like you should. So when we get rid of the ATNR, and a lot of these kids, their handwriting improves as well. So you're probably wondering, how do you get rid of this reflex? And you can go on Google and look for remediation exercises and things like that. It does take a little while. The thing that speeds it up is if you're able to stimulate a part of the brain called the cerebellum on their weak side, and then that plus the remediation exercises will tremendously speed up that process of getting rid of this reflex. And if your child has this ATNR, they most likely have another primitive reflex. I found that with my patients that have one primitive reflex, they have several different ones. And other ones that you can look up, like on Google, would be a Moreau reflex, a rooting reflex, spinal gallant, STNR. There's all kinds of them. But what you want to do is look into that, and they affect a lot of different health issues. So what we want to do is get rid of them as fast as we can. But I hope you guys learned something new today and something that contributes to reading comprehension. And I will see you guys here tomorrow.